Well, that was incredibly boring. So I just watched the Summer Game Fest. The annual show put on by Jeff Keighley, of course the Game Awards guy, kind of like the face of gaming media. He puts on the show every single summer, and it's sort of replaced E3. Because of course, early June was known for years as E3 season, the time of year where you would have all these big game developers, you would have Xbox, PlayStation, all these studios come together in one space in California and reveal pretty much everything that they're working on for the future. It was an exciting time every single year, something I personally look forward to, and now that E3 is dead, we have Summer Game Fest. Which is essentially the same thing, just kind of one big event that some years is really great, and some years we have this, which is just kind of a letdown. And before I go over all the different stuff that I saw at this thing that I kind of want to talk about, I just want to make the point that there's a reason why kind of like the industry is in a bad place right now, and I think it's because we're at this weird time where you have all these big studios out there that just kind of refuse to give us any insight on what we're making, on what they're making at least. You have all these studios, especially in Sony's space at least, outside of Insomniac, which we only have their roadmap because it leaked, but studios like Naughty Dogs, Santa Monica, Guerrilla Games, we have no idea what these studios are making, and they've been working on their games for years at this point. And there are more than just those three that I named, and it's just it kind of sucks to get these festivals, get these events, and not get these big reveals. There used to be a time where you would turn on E3 and you would have a show where you get the Final Fantasy VII Remake, Shenmue 3, you would get like a God of War reveal, and just crazy stuff to get you excited about the future of gaming. Now, these studios only seem to want to announce games when they're like a month away from releasing. And that to me is dumb. I'm okay with a game being announced knowing that I won't be able to play it for a couple years. Just give me something to look forward to. But this event, unfortunately, didn't really do that, but we do have a few games. I have like 20 games here, so a little more than a few, that I want to talk about and just kind of give my thoughts on. Some stuff that actually does look really cool, some stuff that I think looks just mind-bendingly dumb. I'm gonna go in order of how they show them, so this is everything that I saw at the Game Festival that I'm interested in. First up is this weird LEGO Horizon Zero Dawn game. Who asked for this? Who out there was saying, God, you know what we need? A Horizon Zero game, but in LEGO form. What the hell? Who wasted their time and energy to make this game? Now listen, the game looks fine. It looks like your standard LEGO game, something that I'm not going to play or really be that into, but I'm sure somewhere out there is an audience for this. But it's just such a bizarre game. When the trailer started, I thought it was going to be like a LEGO Sony universe. So we would get like Horizon and then like God of War. It was going to be like a collection of different Sony properties in a LEGO game, which could be cool. But instead, this is just a straight up Horizon game in LEGO format. Who cares? But that's how they open the show. The game, you know, maybe you're interested in that. I'm mind-boggled that they made this game. I'm just confused by it. Then there was this weird zombie game. I believe this was born out of like some mod from a different game. This is a full-on ground-up version of whatever that mod is, and it kind of just looks like an 8-person co-op Left 4 Dead game. I'm interested. I don't know if it's coming to consoles, but it looked like fun. It looked like more Left 4 Dead, and I enjoy those Left 4 Dead style games. I'm down for it. There's a new Harry Potter Quidditch game coming out. Now, we didn't get to see too much of this, but I'm interested as well. I love Harry Potter. I love Quidditch. The fact that there was no Quidditch in Hogwarts Legacy was definitely a choice. But this is something that I'm definitely intrigued by. It comes out relatively soon. Good idea. Small game. Could be a lot of fun. Gonna be another live service-y thing for Warner Brothers. We know they love their live service games, you stupid assholes. Then we got another deeper look at Star Wars Outlaws. And listen, I'm in a current phase. I'm reviewing all the Star Wars movies on my channel. I'm watching The Acolyte. I'm in this weird phase where I've just kind of accepted that Star Wars is dead to me. It's just dead. I just don't enjoy it the way that I used to as a kid, and now I'm just upset about just about everything I see of Star Wars these days. Star Wars in game form, though, has been relatively good as of lately. You, of course, have the Jedi games. I enjoy the new Battlefront games, and we have now a brand new Ubisoft open-world Star Wars game. It is going to be an Ubisoft open-world game. What does that mean? Well, if you've ever played Watch Dogs, if you've ever played Far Cry, if you've ever played Assassin's Creed, these are very, very large games that just feel like they're missing something. They're missing some of the detail that you get in, say, like a Grand Theft Auto open-world game, or something from, like, CD Projekt Red, or one of these bigger studios, these bigger bigger titles. They're just more basic, more ground level, despite the fact that they are just as big in scale, and this seems to be that. This seems to be just a basic open world Star Wars game, as basic and grounded as it can get. There seems like this trailer and everything that we've seen from this game, there's something missing. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna play this game, and I'm probably going to enjoy it for the most part, but there seems to be something in this game missing. Something that's just not connected to what we would imagine an open world Star Wars game would be. But it looks like fun. The blaster combat looks good. The world looks interesting enough. You get to go to all these different planets. It's a cool story about crime and mobs in the galaxy. Like, it's something different than just fighting the Empire. And, like, I'm interested. I'm definitely going to buy this game. It's one of my most anticipated games of the rest of the year. But yet again, there's just something about this game that's off, that I'm like weary about. Then there's a new Civilization game, Civilization 7. I'm not into these games. I don't play them. I don't really enjoy them. Maybe it's your thing, though, if you're somebody that's big into these games, because I know they have a huge following. You have a new one coming, and it looks okay. Then you have this weird Black Wukong game or whatever. There's like another Souls-type game, I believe. I think this one was made in China. So yeah, I'm not a big Souls game type person, but yet again, you might be. That might be your thing. This one looks cool. A lot of the imagery and the CG trailer stuff here is interesting, so go check that out. And then we have Arkham Shadow. Okay. Here we go. Batman Arkham Shadow. Listen, the Arkham series is my favorite game series of all time. The Arkham trilogy are my 3 favorite video games, literally ever. I love it to death, and I have been waiting 9 years to get something new in Arkham. I was very, 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 very disappointed with Rocksteady with their release of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, as was just about everybody, and I'm hoping and praying that they pivot back and go and make an Arkham game to kind of make up for that. Just go back, make a prequel to Arkham Asylum, and just let us be Batman and do Arkham shit for like another 10, 15 hours of gameplay. That's all I want. So now we do have a new Arkham game coming out, and it's exclusive to the MetaQuest, a VR set from Mr. Zuckerberg.
Sorry, he's wired in.
Is he?
Yes.
And you play as Batman, what I'm assuming is a prequel set timeline of the Arkham universe. You have the guy that voiced Batman in Arkham Origins voicing the character, who I believe is going to be the main voice actor going forward in the Arkham universe, of course, because of the tragic passing of Kevin Conroy. But you're going to be facing off against some Rat King thing, and listen, all I'm going to say is using the Arkham property, using the name to sell a VR game, even if the game is amazing, which it might be. There was a previous Arkham VR game that I've heard was pretty good, but using that name for a fucking VR game, it just feels disgraceful. It's just so disappointing, and I hope that we do get a larger Arkham game. I think they probably will. It almost feels inevitable that because of the negative responses to Suicide Squad and Gotham Knights, that an Arkham game from whatever studio, whether it's Rocksteady or Warner Brothers Montreal, it is absolutely just inevitable that we're going to get one. I just wish it was sooner, and I wish it wasn't this shit. Then we had a big surprise. Blumhouse Game Studios. Now, of course, Blumhouse, ran by Jason Blum, is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, horror movie studio out there. They make a bunch of horror movies of wavering quality. You have some that are great, like something like Sinister, and some that are just not so great, like The Night Swim, which came out this year. Now, but they make a ton of movies. And their whole thing with movies is that they make them on very small budgets. They find ways to cut costs while still making original, interesting movies that usually all do well at the box office. They understand how to make money in an environment that's not very easy to make money sometimes. And now they're investing in games. They want to bring that style of filmmaking into games, to make games on a budget with smaller, independent creators who are able to make unique and interesting things, but not necessarily have to break the bank to do it. And they're going to get those games out there and send them all to all of us to play and enjoy. And the games that they all showed all looked pretty interesting. They kind of looked like old, classic, interesting horror games. There was a few of them that really looked interesting. There's a few of them that looked incredible when it comes to the art style and just some stuff that was going on in the gameplay. This is something I'm really looking forward to. I think the world of Jason Blum. I think he seems like a great guy who has a grasp on how to make money while also maximizing art and allowing for artists to be artists. So I'm excited to see what comes from this. Then there was this new Power Rangers game. I remember playing games like this as a kid, those old Power Rangers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games. I'm not really into them now, but I know a lot of people are going to dig this shit, so I'm going to talk about this one now, show a little gameplay. There you go. Do you guys like Power Rangers? Well, go get this game. Then there's a game called Slitherhead coming out. This is from the original creator of Silent Hill, I believe. This is a game that a couple years ago had a big CG trailer that looked very, very interesting. Now that we've seen actual gameplay of this, it doesn't look that interesting. It kind of looks like another just weird sort of action-y game, action horror game. It looks like something that probably could have come out on like the PS3. Not faulting it for graphics or visuals. It's an indie game, apparently. It just does not look like my cup of tea, but this could end up being a sleeper hit, and if it is, I will check it out later this year because it comes out soon, but not as interesting as the original CG trailer. Now we get to my favorite game of the whole freaking event. This looks fantastic, and I'm talking about Killer Bean, baby. What the hell is this and where did it come from? This looks like the most fun action, just simulator I've ever seen. You play as a big bean who's an assassin, and he kills stuff, and you're killing other beans, and you're jumping out windows and bouncing bullets off other bullets and just messing with the physics of this game. It looks incredible. This looks like something I want to play. It's stupid, it's goofy, but it just looks like a playground of fun. This is legitimately, no joke, my favorite thing of the entire event. I'm gonna be completely honest. It's the best thing that I saw. Killer Bean, baby. Let's go. Then we have this game called The First Descendant, which looks to be the brand new live-action-y Warframe Helldivers 2-like thing. This game showed off a really, really cool CG trailer. It didn't show any gameplay, but I enjoyed the visuals. It looked badass. It looked cool. I don't know what this game's all about. It comes out in like a month, so maybe if it ends up being big, I'll check it out. I'm not a big live service guy, but this seems to be the next big one that's coming very soon. Next game I am very excited for, I'm talking about Dune Awakening. This is the brand new, huge, open-world MMO Dune game. And listen, I've gone through a Dune phase this year. I read through all the books. I watched all the movies, all 2 of them, 3 of them, technically 4 of them if you count the documentary about Jodorowsky's. Go check out that thing. That's very interesting. But I'm just kind of obsessed with Dune and sort of the interpretations and different interpretations of Frank Herbert's work. And this game seems to be a completely new interpretation on that world. It's not basing itself on the movies, on Denis films. It is its own thing. And this seems to be taking place in a timeline in which the Atreides were not wiped out, in which they beat back the Harkonnens and the Sardaukar in the Battle of Arrakeen. So you never had Muad'Dib, you never had the Lisan al-Gaib, you never had him become the Kwisatz Haderach. If you want to get into Dune lore, he never really becomes the Kwisatz Haderach. Oh, I could talk for hours about that shit, but I'm not going to be a nerd here. At least that big of a nerd. But either way, this is a Dune world that's very, very different. It doesn't have an Emperor Paul Muad'Dib. It's just a very different world, and I guess you're going to be playing as a person in the desert, a Fremen or something else. I'll say the gameplay that I've seen of this game actually looks interesting. It looks really fleshed out and big. I've never been a big MMO fan, but this looks fun. I'm going to check this out, because the idea of traveling around Arrakis, being a Fremen, riding sandworms, and doing crazy shit, right now to me sounds like fun. And maybe it's because I spent a lot of hours reading through this shit, and the Dune world, to me, is just so cool. Then we have a new DLC to Alan Wake 2. I still haven't played Alan Wake 2. I'm going to play it this year. They just announced that they're going to have physical copies of the game coming out later this year. I will wait for that, buy the physical copies, and then I will play it, and maybe I'll talk about it here, maybe I won't. But tomorrow there is a new, or today, when this video is going up, there will be a brand new DLC called Night Springs. It looks fun, it looks goofy, it looks like you're playing as the chick from Control. I don't know anything about the game, but I want to play it, and you guys probably already have played it. So enjoy the DLC. We got another new preview for Skate 4, aka Skate period, Skate dot, whatever they're calling it. This is the brand new Skate game that's been in development for about 25 years at this point, and we've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and it's still in the pre-alpha, but it appears like they're going to be doing playtests later this year, which means we're probably maybe a year and a half away from release. So that's exciting. Of course, Skate 3, one of the craziest, most fun games of all time. It is a classic cult hit, and we need a new Skate game that's as fun, as realistic, but also as goofy and interesting and hilarious to play through, and I think that's what this is going to end up being, and it looks like they're taking their time and putting in a lot of work. This trailer didn't really show much, but I'm excited for Skate dot next year, maybe. Another preview for Monster Hunter Wilds. This is one that we just saw a few days ago at the Sony event, and I don't play Monster Hunter. I've never played any of them, but I understand people go absolutely insane, bananas, batshit crazy for this series. I don't know why. I've never played one, so I'm not going to say anything positive or negative. To me, it doesn't look like the greatest thing ever. It just looks like you're hunting monsters, because it's Monster Hunter. It's what you do. It just doesn't look that intriguing to me. It's not my cup of tea, but maybe it would be. Maybe I'll check this one out. I don't know, but everybody I know goes crazy for these games. I'm sure they're going to go crazy for this one. It looks interesting, I guess. And the last game of the show, which I can't believe this is what I waited the whole show to see as the final game, is that weird game Phantom Blade Zero. I remember this game was revealed about a year ago at the Sony event, I think, and it's a Sony exclusive, and it looked like one of those games that was too good to be true. A completely bananas gameplay style where everything just felt like Anakin versus Obi-Wan, their lightsaber fight on Mustafar, but in real-time gameplay. It just looks impossible. And this trailer tones down from that original one. The gameplay looks a little bit more realistic, but this game still looks too good to be true. There's gotta be a catch here, because the gameplay here looks insane. It looks so beautiful, the graphics, how the world looks. The gameplay looks so intricate and well-designed, not just having these weird QTEs, but having kind of like Soulsborne-like methodical gameplay with parries and strategies, but also just, it looks so brilliant. It still has that kind of lightsaber duel type aspect to it where it looks choreographed, but it's real-time gameplay. Everything about this game just looks AAA at its core, which is why I'm just... There's going to be a but. There's going to be a but. And I don't know what that but is, but this game seems to be coming out next year. There's going to be a demo at some point this year, so we'll all get to actually check it out. I'm intrigued. This could end up being like the greatest sleeper hit of all time, or it's going to be a disaster because there's going to be some little hiccup in the details, in the fine print that we didn't get to see in the marketing. But that's it. That was it for the show. No Resident Evil 9, which we all kind of thought there was going to be some Resident Evil thing. I mean, it's been a couple years now since Resident Evil Village, and it's like, where's Resident Evil 9? There were rumors that it was coming out in January, then there were rumors that it got pushed back to like December. Even if it's coming out in December of next year. Show it off now. Market the thing for a year. We're willing to wait. I don't know, man. No Sony stuff. Obviously, no Xbox stuff. They're doing their own event Sunday, so maybe Xbox will pull out the big guns we've been waiting for them to pull out for years. That Perfect Dark game that they're making, of course, Fable. Maybe we'll see all that stuff on Sunday. My guess, probably not, because we haven't seen it in years. We haven't had a big event in years, guys. But we are going to see Black Ops 6 on Sunday, so woohoo! A little Mario impression to show how excited I am for Black Ops 6. My god. It still fucking annoys me that they don't know how to count, because Black Ops 1, 2, 3, 4, then Cold War, then 6. Where's 5? But Cold War is Black Ops 5. That's the 5th game. Cold War was Black Ops 5. They would have called it Black Ops 5, okay? But they didn't. They called it Cold War. So this game should be Black Ops 5. It's stupid. That's it, guys. It's very unfortunate that gaming's at this point where we just really don't have much to look forward to other than GTA 6, which just feels like inevitably it's going to get delayed into 2026 at this point. But yeah, that's coming eventually. But what do you guys think of the Summer Game Fest? Let me know down below. And yeah, make sure to subscribe, like this video, turn on notifications. I'll see you guys in the next one.